How do you react to all of this tit for tat that's playing out here? I was struck yesterday reading this statement from the State Department. They hope that this will be the end of it. These 700 diplomats have been sent home. This has happened now in retaliation. Maybe we can move on.
I think there's an element of that. I think both sides are desperate to push this behind it. And it's almost like one of those kind of childish arguments which happen in playgrounds where it just goes on and on and on. And in this case, actually, the US State Department has tried quite hard to say, look, we're not getting rid of any people, we're just trying to get you to close down a few offices. So it's like I didn't really hit you, let's give up. We've now sort of insulted each other enough. But the sad thing, at least from the point of view of Putin and Trump, is that, okay, they may have finally got this almost behind them, but especially from the point of view of Vladimir Putin, if it is possible to feel Vladimir Putin's sadness, he is stuck in this position where it's very difficult for Trump to do anything for him because Congress has basically said, no, we don't want to help. And everything that Trump does to do with Russia, even somebody as, how can I put it, as determined not to listen to public opinion on a subject like Putin as Trump is, he cannot give things to Putin at the moment. And so Putin is stuck in this position, having achieved a lot of power, but not getting anything for it.
The world has changed dramatically and radically since you sat down with the Russian president now many months ago.
But I think I empowered him.
What did you learn from him, though, about how he envisions the relationship between Russia and the U.S.? Is that still even useful to go back to hear what he had to say?
No, I think even then, I think he could not even possibly have imagined what would have happened over the subsequent period. Back then, he seemed to be a slight kind of irritant on the edge of the American election, and his power grew and grew. And eventually, now the fact that we're still talking about the relationship with Russia, we're still talking about the effect on the election, that was way out of proportion of anything he imagined. Here is a man whose campaign slogan was to make Russia great again, and he managed to achieve it. He managed to make Russia right at the forefront of the American imagination. And yet, in terms of concrete things that he could get from Donald Trump, suddenly all those are in question because nobody trusts Trump to be honest on Russia, for better or worse, including Congress. And Congress have laid down these rules about whether he could ever take the sanctions back, which are extreme by any measure. Trump has howled about them. But you can actually meet quite a lot of Democrats who privately say, look, it would be very difficult to be president and try and run a sanctions policy if this was the sort of circumspection one had to go through.